Detailers, car cleaners, clean car enthusiasts, people who are just curious about detailing, I guess. Welcome to my little Detailing Yoda channel, where I talk to you about, well, what I like to think are things that can improve your detailing if you do this as a business or a side hobby or a bit of extra income, stuff that can help you with that. All things that hopefully can just help you with detailing. In this episode, in this thing, I think what I'm going to do, this is such a massive subject, so we're going to start off, kicking off ceramic coatings, my view on ceramic coatings, how to do ceramic coating better, how to, like a rough guide to ceramic coating, give you a bit of a bluffer's guide to ceramic coatings. Yes, the world according to ceramic coatings with the Detailing Yoda. So this is going to be part one. So in this episode, if you like, what I'm going to do is give you a bit of history on me and ceramic coatings. I've been professionally installing ceramic coatings for, I'm going to say 5 years now. Hang on a sec. How long have we? Crikey. 2014 was my first approval by a company to use professional grade ceramic coatings. And before that, I was using consumer grade ones. So 6 or 7 years by the looks of it. Wow. So yeah, I'm going to try and give you a bullshit-free view of some coatings. Hopefully that's going to work. So, right, where do we start? Where do we start with ceramic coatings? So, I suppose the best place, where I'm going to start is with me and ceramic coatings, just to give you an idea of the number one thing I always say about looking for information on the internet, which you might well be doing, is the most important thing is who is giving that information. If it's a company that's trying to sell you a ceramic coating, then they obviously have a vested interest. My interest is in just trying to educate you. I don't know everything about everything, but I know a bit. I know some. I have some experience. So what I'm going to try and give you is an unbiased picture of the world. So to give you that, the first thing I'm going to do is just tell you where I'm coming from and my history with ceramic coating, so I can put things into context for you and you can understand then, or you can take or leave the information I'm going to give. And at least you can, you've got like a reference window to put it in then, haven't you? Let me just check you're still recording. The paranoia. Yes, you're still recording. So let me start off. So I think the first coatings that were out and about back in the day, I remember Nanolex coatings being around in sort of 13 and 14. There's obviously been a lot of coatings before that. I suppose the first thing, maybe before we go into that, to talk about is what is a coating. So if you go right back when I started detailing in about 07, 08, somewhere around there, it was all about the waxes, wasn't it? There was this category, you were a wax guy or a sealant guy. And I was always a wax guy. So I was a little bit late to the coating party because I was just in love with wax. I've been a Swiss wax detailer for 10 years. So Swiss wax approved detailer for 10 years. So I was a bit late to that. Never got too into what we would call a polymer sealant. So things like, what were we using back in the day? Wolfgangs and all these crazy little polymer sealants that there were all sorts of weird stories about, that one doesn't, that one hazes up, the temperature was a bit low for that and it did weird stuff, all of this crazy stuff, these bottles of stuff that we didn't really know about, did we? So obviously being a professional, being in the field, I was a bit curious about this stuff, so started trying out a few things, started out trying some early Nanolex stuff, started trying some Gtechniq stuff because they were just starting around then. And I eventually went and got approved by Gtechniq. There is my Gtechniq approval, my original one. Oh dear, thousands of pounds worth of ceramic coating on the floor. My original Gtechniq accreditation back in June 14. And I was quite late to the party because I'm a late adopter with a lot of this stuff. I like to see what's happening with it. So Gtechniq, and then just to run through quickly in no particular order, November 17, Sonax, the Sonax CC17, which was a fun day out. IGL also in 17. I was an IGL master installer. Was a Gtechniq detailer. The carpro. Look at carpro. When were we carpro? We were carpro. Not even a date on the carpro one. There we go. But we are carpro approved. I'm a carpro approved centre. Kamikaze collection, December 16 on the first Kamikaze UK training course with the awesome guy Kai Morita. If you ever met Kai from Tokyo, he's a crazy guy, but very cool and really knows his stuff. Gyeon approval, there's an interesting one, isn't it? Gyeon approval, all of that stuff over there. Gyeon or Gyeon? Put it down in the comments. Which one is it? Not been Gyeon approved for very long in relativity, probably a couple of years, 2.5 years. Kamikaze, Gyeon, IGL. Yeah, there we go. A few of the bigger ones. XBEL, because I'm an XBEL PPF person. My most recent one is I'm approved to use this Kyujitsu, which you might not know the name Kyujitsu, but you'll definitely know the name Soft 99. Who do all of the crazy waxes again from Japan. These are interesting, aren't they? So, right, go away from the approvals. Let's just go, literally, I've just trawled the workshop very quickly here of stuff lying around. So, I'm not a big keeper of empty bottles. I know some of you guys are. Normally, we do 2 or 3 coatings a week here. So, 2 or 3 coatings a week for 6 or 7 years. There's a lot of bottles, so I just throw them away. So, yeah, used to keep them, gets out of hand really quickly. So, we just throw them away. So this is literally a quick trawl of what I've got lying around. I'm forever trying new coatings. So I've got this stuff from, allegedly, the factory in Israel, Pro 10H, Nano Pro. If you know those guys, Iyad, a fellow Rupes authorized trainer. The XBEL coating, Soft 99, all the Gyeon stuff, got a little bit of EXO here, Max Protect, interesting company, Janice's company, more Kamikaze collection, more Gyeon. So that's what we've got lying around, and that is a brief history of me and my approvals, I guess, for ceramic coatings. So, what are we talking? So that's a brief history of me and ceramic coatings. What are we talking about when we're talking about a ceramic coating? What we're talking about is, this sort of stuff. Some liquid in a little bottle, a bit like nail varnish, isn't it? We're not talking about a polymer sealant, and crucially, we're not talking about, ceramic is the new buzzword for everything, isn't it? So, you can get ceramic waxes now. You can get ceramic shampoos, you can get ceramic quick detailers. None of those I would class as a ceramic coating. So it's unavoidable, isn't it? You've got to get into the chemistry of this stuff as soon as, pretty quickly when you start talking about it. So what makes a thing a ceramic? Because of course there is quartz coatings, ceramic coatings, SiO2 coatings, all of that stuff, aren't they? They're everywhere. So, the important thing to say, I am strongly associated with Gyeon. Gyeon are an excellent company to deal with professionally and personally and sort of privately, publicly. Everything in their range is brilliant, and they are very open and very into educating people about stuff. There is so much smoke and mirrors around about this stuff, isn't there, that it's really easy to get caught into it. But when you talk to a few of the manufacturers, all this stuff is the same. Obviously, there's different levels of ingredients and stuff, but quartz coating, ceramic, SiO2, it's like anything in it. This stuff is highly marketed. So there are a lot of different words bandied about to mean the same. Oh, mine's a ceramic coating, it must be better than your quartz coating. But mine's an SiO2, miles better. Mine's a flexible coating. Yeah, newsflash, guys. They're all pretty similar things, actually. Yeah, there's an ingredient. Ingredients change by a couple of percent, from what I understand, but broadly not much. So, intro. I've actually written down some stuff here because this is so easy to be emotive about this sort of topic. So easy to go rambling off, which is a failure of mine anyway that I can do. So. Let's keep this to an introduction. So what they are is a little bottle of stuff. So why do we use ceramic coatings? Why are they such a thing? Why is the term ceramic such a thing now? The way I explain it to customers is this. We have a wax. We know what wax does. We talk about why do we wax a car? Why do we put something on a car after we've polished it? Well, back in the old days we used to call it an LSP, didn't we? These days why do we put something on when we finish? We want to protect the paint from UV. We want to maybe add, we detailers, aren't we? If we can add a little bit more gloss or a little bit, or make it look better, then brilliant. And finally, protection, aren't we? Protection, there's an interesting topic. What are we talking about when we're talking about protection? Well, we're talking about UV protection. I think it's easy to confuse protection with ease of washing and water behaviour. Because something washes easily, because the dirt falls off, and because it beads up the water really nicely, it's really easy to think it's protected. I think those things are a little bit separate, actually. Let me just check you're still recording. You are? Brilliant. So, yeah, those things are easy to separate. I love a car beading, don't get me wrong. And also, the ease of cleaning, if you're a professional, the ease of cleaning is the big thing that these deliver value to with your customers for years to come, aren't they? But I would separate those things because protection, to me, actually means, is it scratch resistant? Is it swirl resistant? Is it resistant to bird droppings? Is it resistant to acids and alkalis a bit more? Those to me are protective properties. The byproducts of adding those things are beading, ease of washing, nice water behaviour, those sorts of things. You may have a different view. That's my view. So, there's just so much to this topic, isn't there? There is just so much. So I'm trying to keep this as an introduction. We will go on later about application. So maybe do this in a 3 or 4 part video series. We're already up to like 12 minutes. I don't want to bore the hind legs off you boys. And girls. So applying and curing. So one of my big themes I want to start talking about more on this channel, and the reason I've called it what I've called it, is a bit of a rod for my own back. But also, my biggest belief in detailing, guys, is that you are the difference. If you've been on one of my training courses, you'll know about this. One of my biggest beliefs is that the detailer makes the difference. This is a skilled profession. It's not about the next great abrasive. It's not about the next great ceramic coating. A bad ceramic coating installed by a detailer who knows their stuff, that can cure it properly, will perform much better than a good ceramic coating applied badly outside in 5 minutes by someone who knows what they're doing and didn't do a wipe down. It's the same with abrasives, guys. I had a note through today. I posted up the new Rupes abrasives, and someone said to me, "Are these much better than the old ones? Are these the best ones on the market?" The best abrasive on the market is the one that you understand the most, and that you can twist your variables and your techniques to get what you want out of it. You're the difference. A good detailer can correct any car with some unlabeled abrasives and any machine. A less skilled detailer will need this polish for this paint and this polish for this paint and this machine for this and this and this and this. It's not a bad approach, that, but I'm just saying if you're really on top of your game, you are the difference. And that's one of the things one of the reasons I started this channel, is I want to give you guys the belief that you are the difference. You are worth £50 an hour, £60 an hour, £70 an hour, just like a good mechanic who has a full toolbox and a full array of skills, who can, I'm no mechanic, but I've messed about with cars all my life. It takes me a long time to do a cam belt on a car, but I know a professional mechanic can do it in a third of the time. So as far as I'm concerned, he's worth £200 an hour, because he's going to do it far more quickly and far more efficiently and far more skillfully. I can be sure the timing won't jump after I've paid him that money. And a good detailer is the same thing. So, yes, if I'm not careful, this will turn into a ramble, and I don't want it to turn into a ramble. So, ceramic coatings. In my understanding, there are good and bad everywhere. There are things that claim... The trouble is, and the thing that I want you to be aware of, guys, is marketing. Trouble with all these things is, people can make a lot of money who are not detailers by selling lots of little bottles. Isn't this the dream for selling stuff? It's a tiny little bottle. There's no postage. There's no storage. There's no warehousing needed. If you can, put £10 worth of product in there and sell it for £100 and do that many times over, you'll get rich really quick. So, and the other thing that's really true, there is no test to test the presence of a ceramic coating on paintwork. Yes, we can see if it beads, but if a freshly coated car goes and sits under a tree that is dripping sap, and the layer of sap covers that layer of coating, then it's not going to bead anymore. Does that mean the coating's not there? No, it's just covered up. But the car won't bead. So it's not fair to judge. It's not fair to say, you can't say the coating's not there. Pardon me. But it's not there. So there is no test. So the manufacturers can get away with murder. The other thing is the longevity. It lasts 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, 7 years, whatever it is. All of those are just based on a machine. If you're really lucky, they've gone into the accelerated weathering machine and they've done a number of cycles which corresponds to a claim that they can back up. In the real world, does it mean it's going to last that long? Maybe, maybe not. If you're marketing your product, you might decide to take those number of cycles and say, well, that's not realistic. This car will be kept in a garage, so we'll make it longer. Or you might decide to say, no, outside is more, there's more variables. So maybe if it lasts 5 years in the accelerating weathering machine, we'll put 2 years on the bottom. That is a big can of worms, so I don't want to get too into that one. And yeah, I'm just reading some of these things, on this box. This is where we use ceramic coatings in chemical resistance, high solids, 10H, 11H, a million H. Deep gloss, salt resistance, durability, hydrophobicity. Yeah, I've got to be really careful this doesn't turn into a little rant, but the hardness test is the other thing we've got to mention. Educate yourselves about the hardness test, guys. It is literally a pencil being dragged across a coated surface. It's not even a painted coated surface either, it's bare metal. So if I just made this coating, I apply it to a bare metal test piece, and a pencil gets dragged across, and if the pencil scratches it, then the coating is not as hard as that pencil, and if the coating doesn't scratch it, the coating is harder. Or has it got lower friction? Or, it's a flawed test really, isn't it? So, got to be careful about hardness ratings and all the rest of it. And the only other thing I want to talk about in this introduction is, I think, limitations would be the thing. These are oversold to customers, in my opinion, with what they can do. Ceramic coatings do add hardness. They do limit the ability of a wash mitt and wash marring and of damage to paint. But just be realistic about that stuff, guys. If we talk about paint thickness, the total paint thickness on the average car is 100 microns thick, give or take, isn't it? Let's call a 30 to 40% of that clear coat. So a clear coat on a vehicle is 30 or 40 microns thick. If we're really lucky, a ceramic coating is some are claiming 2 microns thick, but I can't see it. A ceramic coating is generally 1 micron thick. So it is a 40th of the thickness of your clear coat. So how high is this room? This room is 2 meters high. So a 20th of 2 meters is 10 centimeters, so we're talking a 40th, so 5 centimeters. So compared to if this room is as thick as the clear coat on your car, a ceramic coating relatively is like that thick. If you compare a grain of sand on the same scale, a grain of sand, well, thickness of the hair of your head is the one I always use. So a hair on a human body ranges from 50 to 100 microns thick. So the paint on your car is not as thick as the hair on your head. A clear coat is somewhere between a half and a third of the thickness of a hair on your head. A ceramic coating is, I've got to hit my sums right now, like a 50th of the thickness of the hair on your head. Just think about what that can do. You know, I love PPF. I think that's proper paint protection. That is 100 microns thick, and even there's some things that won't protect against. So I think that's a good place to end it, guys, on this introduction to ceramic coatings. Stick down in the comments if there's something you'd like me to cover in future episodes on ceramic coatings. I think there's at least enough for 3 or 4. So the application process, again, that comes into the best coating for you is the one that you know inside out and that you can apply and that suits where you apply it. I think we can do a thing on pro coatings versus consumer grade coatings. And I think there's definitely a thing on maintenance of coatings, because I think that is probably the least understood area of ceramic coatings of all, probably. So I'm going to leave it there. Put some stuff down in questions if there's anything you've got to know. Questions, comments. If you've got a pal that wants to know about ceramic coatings, then tag him in the thing. If you're enjoying this and getting value, then please subscribe to the channel and smash the bell if you're a bell smashing type person. Helps me grow. Thank you so much for all your subscribes and stuff so far. The growth of the channel initially has been great. If we can keep this going, I just want to keep making these videos as long as you guys are enjoying them. I don't get anything from them. It takes time away from my detailing for money, which is what I do for a living. But if I can help you and help put some genuine information out there, then that's what I'm trying to do. So all good, guys. Maybe check out some of the other videos on the channel if you haven't, about machine polishing and other things. Or if you're watching this in a couple of months' time, maybe go and check out part 2 of the ceramic coating series. Take it steady, guys.